Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for our fourth and final quarterfinal of the day. Reborn here with Turkish Paragoners and Gems. A Gideon has been left in once again.
Yes, it has. Whether or not any team will pick it, Reborn favoring the Shimby over the Gideon. So Turkish Paragon is not really a well-known team, I believe. I don't know how many players we've
They're from
seen
Turkey,
before.
didn't you know?
So I've not heard a lot of these names. So it's to be interesting to see how they fare up against Reborn, one of the strongest teams in the tournament. It is going to be a giant hurdle for them to actually try and claw back, try and beat. But again, we love an underdog story. So if Turkish Paragon has somehow managed to take down Reborn, that'll probably be a phenomenal play for them, and they're going to be setting themselves up in such a great position if they do that.
Already a couple of interesting picks from Turkish Paragoners. That's going to be the Fae that I've personally seen today and for a while in the competitive scene. We'll see what the Turkish Paragoners can do with it, but they're the ones who are going to pick up the Gideon here. And Reborn have somewhat of an answer to it. They do have the Narbash and I guess the Drongo, but they decided not to pick it up. I guess not thinking that it was strong enough for them to play this game, or perhaps even thinking that they didn't need to have the Gideon on their side. Maybe Involve wants to style on the Turkish Paragoners a little bit more.
They might just be playing what they're comfortable with, sticking with comfort picks. Shimby, incredibly strong off lane that can dominate a lot of games. So it is a bit of a toss up in terms of what you want to take. So I'm not too surprised there in the first couple of picks. However, Drongo and Narbash being picked before they've been taking their jungler was a little bit not too sure about on the side of Reborn. They might have been better off taking the junglers beforehand, but they also Rampage taken. So just trying to secure whatever they can along the way. I don't think they're going to be too upset with whatever comp they build here.
I do like the Wombo combo that Turkish Paragoners are sort of setting up for themselves, picking up the steal, although I don't think we've seen a steal win today. It's still fun to see that hero, much like the Gideon we were talking about earlier, and a Sparrow. Okay, I don't think we've seen too much Sparrow today either. That's going past the Murdoch as well as the Twin Blast. How do you feel about the new Twin Blast, by the way?
Haven't really seen him enough, to be honest. He's not really being played, which probably sums up how I feel about him. Uh, so yeah, that's all I can really say. Like the main issue is also with Sparrow though, Pith, is she's a really late game hero. And the game's now been what, sub 25 minutes, sub 30 at most. I don't think we've had anything really go over 30 minutes. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they actually use the Sparrow in the game, if she's actually gonna be able to gain a significant lead by that point in the game that it won't matter too much.
Well, let's see. We'll see if this game goes over 30 minutes here. We're going to start up in 3, 2, 1, go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our fourth and final quarterfinal of the day. And for PCL 11, the winner of this one will join the other three teams in the semifinals tomorrow. And we'll also be having our finals for PCL 11 as well. But let's go through and introduce our teams. I'll have the honor and privilege, as my good friend Shane, the not Shane Lynch, would say, of introducing Team Reborn. It's going to be Jay Leo playing the Crunch. We've got Master Splinter playing the Narbash. Reflect will be handling the Shimby in the offlane. We've got Nadosic. He's going to be playing a Drongo. And then finally, Involved, he's going to be spooky and scary playing the Belk in the mid lane.
And on the side of the Turkish Paragoners, we have Oyun Serif on the Gideon, Kusavali on the Rampage, Victory Jush on the Sparrow, Flame Shifter on the Fae, and Trafalgar L on that Steel.
So we're going to have a support Seal and offlane the Fae and Rampage inside the jungle for the Turkish Paragoners. They're playing against a tough squad in Reborn, and also going to be even tougher for them playing against the Ping as well. So we'll see how it goes for them here. Reflect already getting a little bit of damage onto Trafalgar, but Trafalgar doesn't really care too much. He's just going to keep on swinging his fists at the little Korean girl, which is a little bit weird if you start to think about it a little bit. Just Paragon things.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Then talk about something else.
I mean, yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a rough lane. I think Reflect's gonna be fine the second he gets some stay going in that lane. But I don't know how they're going to really have enough damage to kill him. They can poke him out quite a bit, but apart from that, Shimby's going to have a pretty free lane in terms of farming up and leveling. Especially since there's not really been much of a freeze. He's been able to sit sort of near his tower as well to get this level advantage as well.
Ooh, involved with a nice Seismic Assault interrupt on the Coastal Volley to make sure that he has to pick up another rock if he wants to throw one onto Involve. But he gets out of there. It does give Onyonku a little bit of room here in the mid lane since, you know, he was kind of getting dominated by Involve before, and that's kind of how I expect this lane to go. Involve probably one of the best mid laners in the game, up there with the likes of a lot of other people who are good mid laners. I would say that Azzy is definitely up there. Shanks is probably one of the better mid laners as well. There's a pretty good list of excellent heroes out of mid, and of course who could forget Arsenic, except for the people that are new to the PCL. Arsenic, of course, part of Team Oxygen, who have decided not to participate in competitive Paragon events for the time being, but he's definitely extremely good and really showed what he was about over at PEX. So we're seeing him in the PCL here, brought on by Team Reborn, having a pretty good mid lane. Trafalgar, though, is going to end up being the first blood to Jay Leo playing the Crunch, who is looking for a little bit more here inside the jungle as well.
And he's already managed to take out a level 1 steal, and we already see him evolve as well, taking out the Gideon. So this is looking pretty rough right off the bat here for Turkish Paragoners. Kosovali and Onyus Harif, I think it's Onyunsu Harif, struggling a little bit here, and then right before the river buffs as well, so that's going to be an invis buff going across.
This doesn't look fun at all for the Turkish Paragoners. They're going to have the Fae drop down inside the jungle as well, and Jay Leo, Master Splinter, not going to allow this Steel to have too much fun inside his own jungle as well. Gideon's going to throw a rock in distaste of the Reborn side, but it's not really going to have too much of an effect at all, as everybody's already evacuated the scene. So Reborn already with a fantastic start to this game, and as we've seen before,
4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, as we've seen before, it's pretty easy to turn that into a Fangtooth play as well.
Yeah, they have no need to, though. They can just carry on with what they've been doing, try farm up a little bit more, and then take Fangtooth at a later stage. The first one, as I said, gives you 5k gold and 20 power across the board, arguably the most important one to grab if you want to start snowballing heavily. But they don't need to start snowballing. They already have the snowball started. They already have that beginning lead on the side of Reborn, so it's just an added risk that they don't need to take.
Might see some more damage onto the Fae here. Native Sick throwing in the rad rounds to her and taking her down to about half health. Native Sick also... Oh, that's fun. My controller is completely disconnected. Native Sick... I mean, he's gotten a lot of damage onto the Fae here, and Gideon will rotate around, but I feel like the Turkish Paragoners are rotating maybe a little bit too much. Reflect with level 5 on top of Trafalgar's level 2 on the steal. He's going to use the all-kill here and just secure himself an easy kill. And Involve is going to get here as well. Misses the Seismic Assault, so that won't be a kill onto the Sparrow. But I don't know if the Turkish Paragoners are going to want to try to pursue that too much longer at all. But Circle Rhythm starts to come out from Reflect, Involved with a nice dodge of the rock as well. These guys got to be careful on the right lane. Yeah,
I think they have a substantial level advantage, and it's fine. I mean, Rampage, because Zavali's only level 3, their jungler's really far behind here. Hasn't been able to farm up in his own jungle at all. He's only on 13 farm.
Ooh. That rock bodes a lot of bad things for Turkish Paragoners. They're going to dive the tower. Reflect should find it pretty easy to get away as well. The shield bonk misses on Involve, so again, they're just not really able to interrupt too many things at all here. And the Fae also went down in the left lane as well. So Reborn are not really allowing the Turkish Paragoners any room to breathe at all in this quarterfinal.
No, they've been doing what we've been seeing. What we've been seeing them do this tournament. They've been very strong with their plays. Involved might be a little bit caught out here.
Oh, they're just missing all the rocks, though.
Yeah, there isn't anything you can do.
Involved even looks like he wants to fight up against the Gideon. Reflect is here on the backside as well, so he could try to get some damage done. Dark Rift is going to get Onyonku away. You probably say that name much better than me. And somehow Kosovali has found his way in a whole lot of pain as well. Surrounded by 3 Reborn heroes and easily taken down.
Yeah, it's looking way too rough here. I mean, Rampage still level 3. I mean, he's so far away from that ultimate. He's really not going to be able to do anything. He's being very greedy, trying to grab that kill onto Involve, and ended up just dying once again. He's sitting at 0-3 right now, 7 minutes into the game. And as we were talking about, this Fangtooth that is up hasn't really even been needed on the side of Reborn, and they can carry on just with the game plan they've been doing at the moment. They're so far ahead, 7 minutes into the game, that they can start punishing, taking 1v1s across the board, and looking for fights you wouldn't normally expect people to take.
I love just watching Involve play sometimes. You can see how scary he just makes himself look by chasing after the Gideon a little bit. He's already forcing him to use a little bit more mana here. May see something dropped on his head in a little bit. Seismic Assault is going to miss though, and I don't really think anybody's going to hit too many abilities here on the mid lane at all. Meanwhile, do have Nato6 finding another kill as a Drongo. This Fae has been completely taken out of the game so far. Taking a look at the scoreboard, we see the Fae is 0-3-0 with just 14 last hits at this point. It's just really difficult to get this hero going.
Yeah, and we're just looking at the gold difference. It's over 23,000 gold difference already, 8 minutes into the game. That is a lot of
That's as much gold as a team will probably have at 5 minutes is the gold difference in this game.
Yeah, it's a substantial amount, and they're getting this Fangtooth, which is going to send it another 5,000 further. And there's not been any contention here on the side of the Turkish Paragoners. It's just like, are they going to try and look for these fights? Are they going to try and make any sort of big plays? I feel like they've been so far behind, they themselves are struggling to know what to do in this situation, and it's kind of been falling apart for them.
And that's kind of what happens against Team Reborn sometimes. You have a team that's so good at taking objectives at moving around the map, and sometimes you just don't really know what to do as a more inexperienced team that the Turkish Paragoners kind of are at this point. I mean, like you said, they're kind of unknown. We do know they're from Turkey, or should be, if you look at their name. But they're just not really knowing what to do in this very difficult situation against one of the better teams in Paragon. Reflect going right after a level 3 steal. That is not a situation that he's going to survive too often. Reflect will eat a rock from Kosovali, but he doesn't really even seem afraid of the Rampage at all. Taking him down to half health with just 1 circle rhythm. The rushing beat is going to help to do some more damage as well. Another circle rhythm, as well as the all kill on the Kosovali, will be able to net Reflect a 2-for-1 in an engagement that he was 3-for-1 against him.
Yeah, he's got such a big lead. Sprite activated. Growth Totem just taking it along with Green Spring that gave him that little bit of basic armor that he needs. And there's such a lead here for Reborn that I really don't know if there's anything the Turkish Paragoners can do. It's just so far behind. I mean, you can just see Reborn is having fun with this. They're going for tower diving. They're just trying to get as many kills as they can and try and carry on with this lead they've built for themselves. It's 14-0 on the board 10 minutes into the game.
It's almost like Reborn at this point are 3 different teams trying for a bunch of objectives, and Jay Leo is just kind of the guy that rotates between all the teams. You have 3 different lanes, 3 different groups of people getting kills all on their lonesome. And I mean, right now Turkish Paragoners don't have a whole lot of real estate belonging to them.
No, we can already see Rampage has had a pretty much non-existent jungle from the get-go, and it's been rough on him the whole time, and he hasn't been able to claw back at any point.
Well, Jay Leo will get the wraparound onto iVictory. Jush try to get a little bit of a better view of this one. She is actually bugged out at this point and will just end up falling to Jay Leo there. Meanwhile, Reflect, oh no, that steal does not want to get anywhere close to the shimmy. Doubling him up in levels. Reflect is pretty stacked up at this point.
Yeah, I think he could probably take a couple members off the package side on by himself, and I don't think there's anything they can really do. He's 5 levels ahead of Trafalgar here. I think he could potentially even go for the tower dive should he choose to and still be okay. He's managed to grab a numbing rogue as well as a Sprite and Growth Tome. He's pretty much at full build in terms of cards. I don't think he's really going to be getting anything else. Might trade out the Growth Totem for another card later on. just to get the instant bonus in health rather than wait to a lot later in the game. And that's about it.
Well, Rampage cut out pretty far from the rest of his team. Will be blown apart. Still on his own side of the map, but just kind of at that river area. Shimbi gonna get a green buff for herself as well. This game is quickly, well, it's pretty much quickly already gone. Second Fang Tooth of the game. Already going over to Reborn. There's not a whole lot that the Turkish Paragoners can do about it. The Fae may decide to walk on in, but the Seismic Assault, Void Bomb is going to say otherwise. Involve is going to use a Neuro Disruptor there to take down the Intelligence Hero, and that's just kind of what having the extra Intelligence Hero does to Turkish Paragoners. It gives another target for Involve to take down.
33k gold lead here, 12 minutes into the game. That is something that would take a good 10-15 minutes to claw back in a game that was pretty close, but again, that they don't have that time. They really don't, and it keeps growing. They haven't been able to take a single objective, I don't think, apart from like that one tier. And they haven't even taken a tier 1 this whole game, so it is looking really rough.
Rock slightly missed on the Reflect. The Shield Slam does not, but it doesn't really matter. Reflect still got enough damage needed to take down the Seal, and poor Rampage, that yell gets me every single time, will also fall to J. Leo and Reflect. Green buff is going to pop right on top of Frame Shifter. They will use the unstable growth there. Can J. Leo escape the damage of the black hole, though? The Fae will fall on Yonku Harith. It will also fall to J. Leo's big hulking grip. And I don't really think that Aspero is going to be able to do too much else here either. That's a triple kill for J. Leo. Didn't need anybody else to do anything about it. Beating up on the Turkish Paragoners here, and we're probably going to see a tier 2 tower fall in the near future.
Yeah, they really need to start pushing their advantage a lot more. I feel like Reborn have been sort of playing around with their food, so to speak, here in this game. They could really start pushing a lot of these towers a lot more, potentially even going for Prime and trying to look to get these inhibitors down sooner.
As soon as the steal shows up, so does Master Splinter. Makes his way over to take down the support of the other side and prove which support is indeed better. Master Splinter is pretty good at determining who that is. So Reflect in him will take down the tier 2 tower. Barely even worrying about the steal in the process, and the Fae also could be in some trouble very soon. Involve is almost baiting him into some kind of fight here, as Reflect still wants to go for the inhib right now.
Yeah, I don't think they can actually grab it. They might just back up and take Prime yet. I think they should.
How they actually missed that rock on the Reflect. This is ridiculous. Reflect might not even need an all kill to take down the Rampage here. He doesn't. He gets underneath the fog wall, and he's ready to go onto the Fae as well. The arrows are dropping down. Reflect seems to not really care. He's very tank for this one. The Circle Rhythm is going to help take down the Fae. And another Seismic Assault on the Trafalgar really makes it so he can't go into his own jungle at all. Reborn are absolutely dominating this match, and I really didn't expect anything less from him.
No, they've been playing very solid, even against teams they don't really know. They've been showing up fully, not making any real sort of mistakes along the way, and just playing 100% to their capability.
Oh, they're ready to go for their first inhib of the game and just continue to dominate the Gideon. Crash Bang Boom coming in from Master Splinter. There is going to be the unstable growth from the Fae, but she's already gone. Can't even see the evidence of her place on this map. First inhib will go the way of Reborn. They're not going to end just yet. They're going to think about it, but they'd much rather take another inhib down, or possibly maybe more heroes. You know, add some more fun to the party.
Yeah, they're trying to take the clean victory. I mean, they could dive for the core, but the core does significant damage. So what they're doing, they're just going to take mid lane. They're going to just slowly push all the waves in with the supers on the far side. And, you know, that'll be, I believe, the first game going over to Reborn.
Yeah, almost going as fast as Team Oxygen here. Know they had a bit of a run. Just speed running games through the NA qualifiers back when PEX was had not even occurred yet. But Reborn, another brilliant team from PEX, taking the hurt into the Turkish Paragoners, taking another inhib out of the game. They just took an OP while we weren't even watching. That was a while ago. And it looks like they're ready to end this one here. They have a pretty nice minion wave. they're ready to go and end this one up against the Turkish Paragoners, making pretty short work of them, showing exactly why Reborn are one of the most feared teams in NA. So that's going to do it for game number 1. We do have game number 2 coming up for you guys in a bit. We might take a cursory look at the last stats in this game, but Gems, I don't really think that there's a whole lot to say after that.
Yeah, I felt like Turkish Paragons were missing a lot of the basics. There was a lot of missed stuns. I'm not sure if it's due to ping or whatever else the situation is. We don't really know. But they really need to change things up to have any sort of shot at coming back. I don't know. Rampage, good pick, but wasn't executed. You end up falling behind. Steal level 1 in the early game was punished heavily, and Reflect just had a free control from there on in, and there's not much that could actually be done there. And it felt a little bit rough to watch, and I feel like it would have been even rougher to play if you were the Turkish Paragoners in that game.
Well, thank you guys for hanging around. It has been over 6 hours of Paragon action here. So we are going to go on in our last quarter final of the PCL 11, the 4th one, looking to get a spot into the semifinals. Is it going to be Reborn? Probably. Is it going to be Turkish Paragoners? They're going to have to make some huge changes to come back in game number 2, which we'll have after a short break for you guys. Make sure you stay around. Thanks for watching.